Alright, here we are with the F8F, and this is the level 15 F8F-1. This is the one with the 4 M3 machine guns, the faster shooting, and even with just 4 it has more kilograms per second than the 6 machine guns of the M2s on a P51 and or F4U1D. This is a very fast climbing, fairly fast diving, fairly fast turning plane, and it really does have a huge edge on most of its competition it goes against. The main planes to be worried about when you do fly this will be the on occasion good Yak-15 pilot. The G10 and the K4 will be your main opponents that you really want to watch out for, as well the N1K, 2JA, and J. Both of those planes, the last two, the N1K, 2J, and JA, are very formidable as they start in the air, so they'll have an advantage over you on most of the maps that you go against them. And when you really have that disadvantage, it's going to be something that you're going to want to climb away from the battlefield and then climb back into the battlefield. As far as when you go against the Russians, you can climb directly in because most of the planes you'll go against are unable to climb with you. And even more so, especially if you're going against the Yak-15, those oftentimes will not be fully upgraded that you go against, and you'll be able to outclimb them. And if they do slow down at all, they are quite often just dead meat for you to roast up, cook, and eat down as a kill for yourself. So without further ado, let's move forward to some of the action. And against the Russians, it's fairly standard to see them go quite low because you oftentimes will go against a large amount of Tu-2s. As you can see, there's plenty of them in this game. And you'll see a lot of LA-7B-20s. Against the LA-7B-20, you have a huge advantage. It's much slower climbing, much slower diving, but fairly fast turning plane. But like I said, you're much faster in a lot of regards, so that plane you can handle fairly easily. And like I said with the Yak-15, once it slows down, it's pretty easy prey. Nice for a kill right there. The trick is just avoid getting caught where you have your pants down, where a few LA-7s sometimes climb off to the southeast of this map. Just watch out for those guys coming in later. Sometimes that can be a nuisance and get you caught and get you killed. But other than that, overall, you really shouldn't have too much to worry about. As for your turning comparison, you're going to have about the equal turning as the LA-7B-20. And there was the Yak-15 who did what I just said before. He climbed to the southeast and just came in. Almost got me, but thankfully he wasn't a good enough shot. One thing you'll want to watch out for as well, the oil overheats in this plane, and it doesn't overheat too quickly, but it does overheat similar to the Corsair, so you're going to have to watch that, otherwise you can get some engine damage and that'll get you into a lot of trouble later on in the game if your engine does go pink and you are unable to outrun and or outclimb the enemy. And there it is. Simply get your guns ahead of them and fire these M3 machine guns, and you will take out plenty of planes with it. things not to do with this plane, and those include getting right behind any TU2. TU2s are the bane of pretty much any plane's existence, let alone the Bearcat F8F1 is no exception. The 1B, for that matter, is no exception. You can get 2 or 3 shots to the wing and you're dead, and you can unload hundreds into them and they fly away fine. So just avoid going against those planes, and if you do end up going against them, shoot them in their wings and try to get quick bursts and get out of there. Otherwise, you can have that happen. But overall, this is a beautiful plane. If you have a chance to fly it, I definitely recommend flying it. It is a lot of fun, and it's actually a plane that you can compete with pretty much any other plane around your tier that you get matched up with. You won't have too many issues getting in over-tiered games where you're going against jets that you can't handle. You can shoot down ME-163s with this plane fairly easy. You can shoot down HE-162s. And on the rare occasion that you go against a 262, you can shoot them down as well. Overall, you should have a very good chance at going above 1-to-1 with this plane, and I wouldn't be surprised if a good pilot is able to go 2.5, 3-to-1 with this plane. Now for the big question of how good it really is. As far as the planes it goes against in its tier, it's a tier 15 plane, and it's grouped in that 14-15 tier. I'm going to put this plane at an 8, and the reason I put it as 8 because although at 15 it's probably the best plane out there, that and the N1 K2JA are probably the 2 best planes at that tier. It does eventually go against some higher tier planes that on occasion are better than it, and those are the HE-162, the ME-163, and it does go against the K4 on occasion, and the K4 is a very good plane and can compete with this plane, and actually is on par and probably a little bit better than this plane. I wouldn't say it's better than the next edition, but it is better than the F8F1 with its cannons and its climb rate, dive speed, and the G10 is right on par with this. So I'm going to give this an 8, and it's a very good plane. The only occasion where you're going to have issues with it is when you face a few higher tier planes, and even against those planes you can do very well. It'll just take teamwork and not getting yourself too low too soon, whereas they can dive on you. But overall, this is a great plane. You guys should enjoy it. Peace out, and have a great day.